Before the first dawn broke over Midgard, before even the gods carved their names into the stars, there were the Norns. In the vast, primeval darkness at the center of Norse mythology stands Yggdrasil, the world tree. Its ancient roots pierce the realms of gods, giants, and men. Beneath its deepest root lies a sacred well, a place older than time, still and shimmering with the secrets of existence. This is the Well of Erd, and beside it sit three mysterious figures cloaked in shadow and light. They are the Norns. They do not speak often, they do not rule from thrones, but what they weave cannot be undone. Their hands guide the fate of all things, from the fluttering wings of a newborn raven to the final breath of a dying god. Their names whisper through the sagas with chilling gravity. Erd, that which has been. The keeper of all memory, all consequence. Verdandi, that which is, the pulse of the present moment ever flowing. Skuld, that which must become, the shadow of what lies ahead. Past, present, future. A triad so powerful that even Odin the Allfather bows to their designs. To gaze upon the Norns is to glimpse the silent gears of the universe turning, a tapestry woven from stars and souls, blood and time. Who are they truly? Are they goddesses, spirits, or something far older, primordial forces that even the gods fear? Join us as we step into this timeless myth, to uncover the truth behind the fate weavers of Norse legend. Through sacred wells, immortal trees, and forgotten lore, we will follow the thread back to its source, to the Norns, who sit beneath the roots of reality, spinning destinies that cannot be escaped. Your fate is already being woven. The question is, do you dare look?
In the heart of the cosmos, beyond the reach of mortal eyes, grows a tree so vast and ancient, it cradles the destiny of all creation. This is Yggdrasil, the world tree. A mighty ash whose towering branches stretch into the heavens and whose deep roots burrow through the very fabric of the 9 realms. It is not just a tree, but a living axis of the universe. All things, gods, humans, giants, and creatures of shadow, are bound to it, sustained by it, and ultimately return to it. For Yggdrasil's 3 roots, one reaches into Asgard, the realm of the gods. Another snakes into Jotunheim, land of the giants. But the deepest, oldest root plunges into a place of great mystery, a sacred grove where time seems to hold its breath. There lies the Well of Erd, named for the Norn of the past. The Well of Erd is more than a spring. It is a primordial source of wisdom, memory, and fate. Its waters are said to contain the essence of everything that has ever been and everything that ever could be. The moment a life is born, its thread is drawn from this well. Every drop is sacred, imbued with the silent force that drives the universe forward. Under the ancient branches of Yggdrasil, the Norns make their home beside the well. With quiet devotion, they perform a daily ritual that keeps the world tree alive. They draw water from the well and mix it with white clay, a sacred substance of preservation. With this mixture, they anoint the bark of Yggdrasil, shielding it from decay and rot. This act, seemingly simple, holds cosmic importance. Without it, the tree would wither. And with the death of the world tree, all realms, past, present, and future, would collapse into chaos. The Well of Erd is not a passive spring. It is a living force. It listens, it remembers, and it reflects the truths that even the gods do not wish to face. At times, its surface reveals visions of what was, what is, and what is to come. Those who peer into its depths often emerge changed, or not at all. To the Norse people, this well was more than myth. It was a mirror of existence itself, a reminder that every life is just one thread in a much greater weave. The Norns, seated beside its glowing waters, hold the loom. Their hands do not tremble, they do not ask. They only weave, calm and eternal. Beneath the roots of the world tree, fate is not made. It is remembered, preserved, and fulfilled. They do not ride into battle, nor do they wield thunder or fire. Yet their power eclipses even the mightiest of gods. These are the Norns, the silent architects of fate in Norse mythology. Though they are often glimpsed only at the edge of myth and shadow, their presence shapes the destiny of all things, from the humblest peasant to the Allfather himself. There are three principal Norns, and their names have echoed across centuries. Urd, she who was. The embodiment of the past, Urd holds the memory of every moment that has come before. Her thread is long, heavy with the weight of consequence and legacy. She remembers all, forgets nothing. Verdandi, she who is, the personification of the present. Verdandi represents the living heartbeat of time, the now ever-shifting and ever-fleeting. She weaves each moment as it occurs, guiding the actions and choices unfolding across the realms. Skuld, she who shall be, the shadowed figure of the future. Skuld does not speak often, and when she does, her voice carries the certainty of things yet to come. She is the most feared of the three, for her thread determines the inevitable. Together the Norns operate the loom of life. Urd draws forth the thread from the well of Urd. Verdandi measures its length, and Skuld decides when and how it shall be cut. This triad defines the arc of existence, from birth to death, from prophecy to legacy. Unlike mortals and even gods, the Norns are bound by no law, no plea, and no threat. They are impartial, untouched by emotion or ambition. Where the gods can bargain, cheat, or delay their fates, the Norns do not compromise. Their word is final. Their weave is law. But what are they? Are the Norns goddesses, like Freya or Frigg? Are they giantesses, like the ancient Jötnar who predate the gods? Or are they something older still, primordial forces, born not from flesh or fire, but from the eternal need for order within chaos? Some scholars believe they are personifications of time itself, spinning the fabric of reality from past through present to future. Others suggest they are cosmic judges, older than Yggdrasil, tasked with maintaining the delicate balance of fate. What is clear is this: the Norns are elusive and eternal, rarely seen, rarely named, and yet present in every saga. A hero may raise his sword to the sky. A king may pray to Odin, but in the end it is the Norns who hold the shears. They sit beside the well day and night, spinning and cutting threads without pause. No mortal can know when their thread will end. No god can escape the line drawn across their destiny. To know the Norns is to confront a chilling truth, that freedom and fate are not the same. And while we may walk many paths, in the end, all roads were woven long ago by hands older than time. They are the unseen weavers of destiny, and their pattern is eternal. In the silent hours of the night, as a newborn draws their first breath, three unseen figures gather. With thread in hand and time in their gaze, they begin their work. These are the Norns, and their touch is the first mark upon every soul. In Norse belief, fate is not discovered, it is assigned. The Norns are said to visit the cradle of every child, mortal or otherwise. With measured calm they declare the span of one's life, the trials they shall endure, the joys they will savor, and the hour and nature of their death. From this moment, each life becomes a thread, woven into the great tapestry of existence. But these weavers do not work only for humankind. Even the gods, those mighty, immortal beings, fall beneath the shadow of their loom. Consider Odin, the Allfather, Lord of Asgard, god of war, wisdom, and poetry. Despite his immense power, Odin could not bend fate. Desperate for knowledge, he journeyed to Mimir's well, the font of hidden truths. There he sacrificed his own eye in exchange for wisdom, hoping perhaps to understand or even outwit destiny itself. But not even his sacrifice was enough. What he saw in the depths of the well was clear and unchangeable. Ragnarök, the twilight of the gods. A final, catastrophic war that would bring fire and ruin to Asgard, devour the sun, shatter the heavens, and end even the lives of the gods themselves. Fate had been written long before Odin's reign, and though he armed himself with foreknowledge, prepared his people, and raised warriors to fight the end, he could not unweave what the Norns had spun. This is the terrible truth at the core of Norse cosmology. No one escapes fate. Not kings, not cowards, not gods. And yet fate is not cruel, it is impartial. The Norns do not punish, they do not reward, they simply weave. What may seem to mortals like tragedy or glory is to the Norns simply the shape of the pattern. They are not moral judges but cosmic scribes, recording the rhythm of existence one thread at a time. Still their influence inspires awe and fear alike. The Vikings, fierce in battle, believed that the day of their death was fixed. They did, not fear it, but embraced it, trusting that the Norns had already chosen the moment and that no blade or shield could change it. And in the sagas of gods and monsters, even the mighty bow to the Norns will. Thor's hammer cannot shatter the thread. Loki's tricks cannot tangle it. Freya's magic cannot rewrite it. To resist fate is like trying to still the wind. In the end, whether by crown or cradle, the thread shall be cut. The Norns remind us of a sobering truth, that fate is the great equalizer. In their loom all threads are of equal importance, and in their silence we are made to listen to the beat of destiny that governs us all. Beyond the sacred trio, Urd, Verdandi and Skuld, there exists a hidden host of fate weavers. Shadowy figures, scarcely named in the old texts, but ever present in the beliefs of the Norse people. These are the lesser Norns. The poetic Edda tells us that not all Norns are alike. Some are born of the Aesir, the ruling gods of Asgard. Others descend from the Vanir, the older gods of fertility and nature. Still more are said to come from the realms of elves, beings of light and enchantment, or even dwarves, the deep earth crafters of powerful relics. Each type of Norn carries a different touch, a different thread to spin. These lesser Norns are not merely helpers to the three great sisters. Rather, they are autonomous agents of fate in their own right. Some are said to be tied to families or bloodlines, appearing again and again at births, silently steering the course of a clan's destiny through generations. Others are bound to places, dwelling near sacred groves, quiet springs, or ancient stones, influencing the fates of all who live near them. In this vast web of fate, not all Norns are benevolent. Some weave fortune with golden thread, blessing individuals with long life, wisdom, or honor. Others cast darker fates, inflicting sorrow, strife, or even early death. It is whispered in some sagas that the reason one child grows to be a great warrior, while another falls in youth to sickness or accident, lies not in their strength or choices, but in the Norn who first touched their thread. To the Norse mind, luck was not random. It was woven. This belief shaped the worldview of entire communities. A child born under a favorable Norn was seen as destined for greatness. Their family might consider them a gift of the gods, even a chosen one. But a child marked by a cruel or indifferent Norn might be treated with caution or pity. There are tales of families honoring these lesser Norns with rituals and offerings, hoping to curry favor and influence the weavers of fate. Bowls of milk left at the hearth, loaves of bread by the doorstep, whispered prayers in the early hours, these were acts not of superstition, but of desperate reverence. Some accounts even speak of Norns who fall in love with mortals, or intervene to change a fate they had once written, a rare defiance of the great order, but a reminder that these beings, though mighty, are not without their complexities. They are not all just. They are not all cruel, but they are all necessary. The existence of lesser Norns deepens the mystery of fate in Norse mythology. It suggests that destiny is not dictated by a single linear force, but by a chorus of unseen hands, each with its own voice, motive, and measure. And in that chorus, every life, whether prince or pauper, is a song woven into the eternal fabric of time. Are we masters of our own lives or simply dancers in a script already written? This is the eternal question the Norns cast upon the world, and in the heart of Norse mythology, that question is never fully answered, but always lived. To the Norse people, fate was undeniable. It was not something to be outrun or outsmarted. The Norns had already spun the thread of each life, measured its length, and knew how and where it would end. Even the gods, immortal and mighty, could not twist the thread once it had been woven. Yet in the face of this certainty, Norse culture birthed some of history's most courageous and willful heroes. Warriors charged into battle not because they believed they would survive, but because they believed that how they met their end mattered. To die with a sword in hand, to face the jaws of death with fearless eyes, this was their answer to fate. Valor was not about victory, it was about the way one walked the path they had been given. In this, the Norse sagas present a unique blend of fatalism and agency. If your death is foretold, how will you face it? If your heartbreak is certain, will you still choose to love? If the world must end in fire and ruin, will you still fight to protect it? This mindset finds its clearest expression in the myth of Ragnarök, the end of all things. The gods know they will fall. Odin knows he will be devoured by Fenrir. Thor knows he will slay the Midgard serpent but collapse just 9 steps later. Yet they do not flee from this destiny. They ride out to meet it. That is the Norse answer to fate. This powerful worldview permeated Norse life. In everyday acts, farming in harsh lands, sailing into stormy unknown seas, protecting kin from feuds and invaders, the people lived with a stoic acceptance of hardship and a fierce commitment to face it with dignity. In the sagas, even villains and anti-heroes are often shown wrestling with their fate, not because they hope to change it, but because they wish to shape how they will be remembered. In this way, fate did not erase free will. Instead, it framed it. You may not choose your path, but you always choose how you walk it, and that choice defines who you truly are. So the Norns in their silence did not steal meaning from life. They bestowed it. Because within the unchangeable pattern of destiny, every action still holds weight, every defiance echoes, every choice becomes legend. In the final days of the cosmos, the sky splits. Stars fall like tears. The earth groans as giants rise, and the sun is swallowed whole. This is Ragnarök, the end foretold. The gods march toward doom, and above it all, unmoved and unblinking, stand the Norns. They do not cry. They do not shout warnings, they do not intervene, because they already have. Long ago, before the world knew fire or frost, the Norns spun the threads that would one day unravel the universe itself. The fate of Odin, All-Father and King, was stitched with inevitability. His death at the jaws of Fenrir was not a tragedy. It was a moment on a timeline, written in silence, by hands older than the gods. Thor, the mighty thunderer, destined to slay the Midgard serpent, but doomed to fall from its venom, gasping just 9 steps from victory. Loki, the trickster, bound and hated, would break free, not by chance, but by design. The world tree, Yggdrasil, would tremble, but not fall. Even in destruction, it too would follow its destined course. The Norns do not side with light or darkness. They are not saviors nor destroyers. They are witnesses and weavers, cosmic forces that spin without emotion, measure without mercy, and cut without hesitation. Some say the gods hope to avert Ragnarök. Odin, in his desperation, sacrificed his eye for wisdom. He hung himself on Yggdrasil for 9 days to grasp the secrets of the runes. He sought knowledge from Mimir's well, but none of it changed the thread that bound him. And still, the Norns said nothing, for their silence is not cruelty, it is constancy. They are the still point in the chaos. The loom hums softly as battle horns sound and the seas rise. Every scream of war, every drop of divine blood, all echoes in a pattern already woven. In this, the Norns embody the final and most terrifying truth of Norse mythology. Even gods die, even the heavens burn, and yet, through it all, fate endures. For after Ragnarök, a new world will rise, green fields, reborn gods, a second sun. And once again, somewhere beneath the renewed branches of Yggdrasil, the Norns will sit, spinning. Though the age of Viking raids and rune stones has faded into the mists of history, the Norns have never truly vanished. Their presence, subtle, yet profound, echoes across cultures, religions, and stories throughout the ages. From the icy roots of Yggdrasil, their essence has spread like whispered truths on the wind. In ancient Greece, they take the form of the Moirae, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, the spinner, the measurer, and the cutter. In Rome, they are the Parcae, weaving human fate into the tapestry of empire and eternity. In Slavic myth, they are the Sudis. In Baltic lands, the Lima. Across the world, civilizations separated by oceans and centuries dreamed of women who wove the future, women who could not be swayed, bribed, or escaped. And in our modern era, their influence lives on. They haunt the pages of Shakespeare's Macbeth, where three witches foretell a king's bloody rise and fall. They echo in the fates of Neil Gaiman's Sandman, in the weavers of the Wheel of Time, and in every fantasy tale where destiny cannot be denied. Even the concept of karma, the unseen balance of deeds and consequences, feels like an echo of the Norns' impartial judgment. Their loom now spins in metaphors and philosophies, in literature and film. They are fate, inevitability, the subtle line between chance and design, and through them we wrestle with one of life's oldest questions. Are we in control, or are we following a pattern written long before our birth? But perhaps the Norns' greatest legacy is not fear but reflection. They remind us that we are part of a greater design, that even the smallest thread matters, that our joys, our sorrows, our struggles and triumphs all are woven into a fabric beyond our understanding, but not beyond our participation. Every heartbeat, every decision, every act of love or courage, it all resonates across time, through the loom of the cosmos. In remembering the Norns, we do not surrender to fate, we recognize our place within it, and in that recognition, we find meaning. Beneath the vast canopy of Yggdrasil, where roots stretch into realms seen and unseen, the Norns still weave. They do not speak, they do not judge. They simply are, ancient as starlight, patient as stone. Their loom turns not with thunder, but with quiet certainty. The birth of a child, the fall of a king, a whispered goodbye, a tear on a battlefield, all these moments, grand or small, are threads in their eternal design. We do not see their faces, yet we feel them everywhere, in the sudden twist of fate, in the moments we cannot explain, in the invisible currents that pull us toward our destiny. Perhaps we are not meant to know the whole tapestry, but we are meant to live our threads, boldly, truthfully, fully. For though the Norns may spin the thread, how we walk its path is still our own. This is the legacy of the Norns, not fear, but reverence, not surrender, but purpose. In every ending, a beginning, in every thread, a story, and in every soul, a strand of something timeless. So when you next pause in wonder at life's strange turns, when you sense meaning in the chaos or hear fate whisper your name, remember the Norns and walk forward, not to escape your fate, but to fulfill it.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.